This morning, we have the latest at the Arkansas Capitol,
where Governor Sanders is unveiling new legislation with the goal of limiting Chinese influence in the state.
Even after that cold front from yesterday, daytime highs today still mid to upper 60s and low 70s with plenty of sunshine. We'll talk about it coming up.
And a local coffee business is losing their building, how they plan to keep serving customers.
Well, hey, thanks so much for waking up with us here on 5 News this morning. It's Thursday, so not Friday quite yet, but the trade-off, the good news is we've had blessed weather.
Yeah, it's been really amazing so far. Hard to believe yesterday we had a cold front come through. It's a little bit cooler this morning, but overall not too bad. This afternoon, still 60s, 70s, plenty of sunshine tomorrow for our Friday. Everybody's going to be in the 70s. It's going to be a nice end to the work week before we get to a weekend where there's some changes still to come in the forecast. But take a look outside, no matter where you're waking up this morning. Sure, a few clouds here and there, but overall lots of sunshine breaking out. Beautiful sunrise this morning. Now, as we get to this afternoon, that's when everybody's going to see that sunshine. Daytime highs 60s, 70s across the board. We take a look at what we're tracking, not only for today, but over the next couple of days. A bit cooler today, right? That cold front did come through. We're starting off into those upper 30s, low 40s, northwest Arkansas, really those mid to upper 40s across the River Valley. Warming trend, though, continues, though, through tomorrow. We'll back up into the 70s in the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine once again, but by the weekend, not one, but 2 cold fronts coming in. First one comes in by the time we get to Saturday. That's going to bring in some cooler air. Sunday, though, Sunday going into Monday, that's going to bring some rain chances back into the forecast. Current temperatures outside as you start your day today, upper 30s, low 40s for northwest Arkansas. Those mid to upper 40s across the River Valley for today. Really not a bad start to the day, but really where it gets good is by the time we get to the mid-morning, early afternoon, back up upper 50s, low 60s by the time we get past noon for today across the River Valley. Nothing but sunshine all day long, and some of us got to reach up into those low 70s for today. We'll talk about it coming up.
All right, thanks so much for that, Stephen. Our new overnight coming in, we're learning 2-time Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman has died. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office confirming Hackman and his wife both found dead in their New Mexico home. Now, officials say they do not suspect foul play, though there is an open investigation.
Hackman rose to stardom in 1967's film Bonnie and Clyde. He went on to bring home 2 Oscars for Best Actor in The French Connection in 1972, and then 2 decades later for Best Supporting Actor in Unforgiven. Hackman was 95 years old. Well, today, President Donald Trump is set to host the Prime Minister of the UK at the White House.
Yeah, here at home, the president and senior advisor Elon Musk pushed for deeper cuts to federal spending and warned agencies to prepare for more mass firings. Jared Hill has more.
We've had tremendous.
President Donald Trump is doubling down on Doge.
I think everyone at this table is very much behind it, and if they aren't, I'd want them to speak up, but they're very much behind it.
At the first cabinet meeting of his second term, the president's senior advisor, Elon Musk, defended efforts to slash federal spending and chop the federal workforce.
If we don't do this, America will go bankrupt.
Wednesday, the president signed an executive order expanding the Department of Government Efficiency's power to make more cuts, specifically proposing they trim as much as 65% from the Environmental Protection Agency. The White House is also directing the heads of federal agencies to prepare for large-scale reductions in force.
This country has gotten bloated and fat and disgusting and incompetently run.
During Wednesday's meeting, President Trump also discussed Russia's war on Ukraine, acknowledging that Russia may have to make some concessions. Trump also announced he'll sign a rare minerals deal with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Washington tomorrow, seen by Trump as repayment for the war, but the agreement doesn't guarantee security protections from the U.S.
We'll be on the land, and in that way, there's sort of automatic security because nobody's going to be messing around with our people when we're there.
The Russia-Ukraine war is likely to be a key topic when the president meets with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer today at the White House. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Well, a victory for President Trump came late last night. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts pausing a lower court order. It would have required the Trump administration to pay roughly $2 billion in foreign assistance funds to the State Department and U.S. contractors.
Well, Bentonville man first accused of domestic violence with his girlfriend is now accused of murdering that victim in Mexico. Johan Lopez is facing multiple charges, all stemming from an incident in Benton County last July. Prosecutors say that Lopez allegedly beat his girlfriend and then he failed to show up for his August arraignment. When it was later revealed, he fled with his girlfriend, Nathalie Corona, and their child to California and then Mexico. He now faces a homicide charge in Mexico after returning to the States without her. Mexican officials found Nathalie Corona's body on September 26th. And after 3 months in California custody, Lopez showed up in Benton County Court on Tuesday for his bond hearing.
A couple of new cases that were also set at that time. Those cases are under investigation right now. A charging decision has not been made at this time, but they are under review for charging.
That includes charges of terroristic act, violating a no-contact order, failure to appear in court, firearm possession, and domestic battery. Lopez's next court date is set for March 24th.
Well, now to the latest at the Arkansas Capitol, where the governor unveiled new legislation aimed at limiting Chinese influence in the state. The Communist China Defense Package would ban companies linked to China's government from owning property near critical infrastructure like military bases and power stations. The Republican-backed legislation also prohibits lobbying on behalf of China, Russia, and other designated foreign adversaries.
The threat is real and the enemy is here. They're targeting state governments, military bases, industrial sites, and every other facet of American society. And with President Trump back in the White House, I'm afraid they're only going to try to undermine our country more.
Well, Sanders said that the new law would require Chinese Communist Party-linked companies to quickly divest from prohibited properties once signed.
And Arkansas lawmakers have rejected a controversial bill that would have required public school kids to watch an anti-abortion group's fetal development video. The Baby Olivia Act narrowly failed to pass a Senate committee on Wednesday, despite passing the House by a wide margin. 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats have blocked the bill in committee twice. Sponsors say that they will try again.
A favorite local coffee shop is serving up one last cup at its original location today. A road expansion project is forcing Dodo Coffee Company in Fayetteville to close its doors, but not for good. 5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley joining us now with how they plan to keep the flow moving. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, Joe. Well, if you've driven down MLK in the morning, you've probably seen a long line wrapped around this little building behind me here at Dodo Coffee Company, even backing up some traffic sometimes. It's very busy here in the morning, but today is the last day that you'll see that line because sadly this building is going to be leveled due to a road expansion project happening right here. But the owners say although they're losing this first building, they're not going to lose their customers. Now, Dodo Coffee Company opened just over a year ago, and from the start, the owners say they knew this day might come. The state's road expansion project on MLK means their building has to go, but their business isn't going anywhere. Instead of closing down completely, they're moving forward with a mobile coffee trailer, a temporary solution to keep serving customers while they work on building a new permanent location. In the final days, regulars showed their love by covering the building in signatures, a bittersweet send-off for a place that quickly became a favorite. Owner Isaiah Ojeda says this may be a big change, but it's also a chance to keep growing. And he says, looking back on the past year, the quick growth of this little shop has been unbelievable.
Just kind of turn the open signs on one day, and there's people that have been coming from the first week. There's people that just started coming this week. The first day we opened, you go and look at sales at the end of the day. It's like, well, we didn't even cover payroll. Like, we legitimately did not cover payroll. And now today, on a day like today where, we're blocking traffic and there's people at the walk-up.
The team here says their mobile coffee trailer should be operating right here at this location on MLK within the next 3 weeks, maybe just with some limited hours at first. And in the meantime, they'll be building their new location from the ground up. They just announced that will be on Weddington, and they say they'll be sharing lots of updates on their social media, so they're asking their customers to follow along there. Live in Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
All right, thank you, Morgan. Well, local solid waste hauler company aiming to make recycling more accessible in rural communities. Neighbors NWA is a waste collection service for rural areas, offering option to those in Goshen who didn't have many before. The company there, only company in the area that offers a dedicated recycling-only option for rural customers. The owner says accessibility is key for recycling, and they've already seen some positive results within the community.
Gone from essentially September, where we were collecting like 0 recycling out in that area, to now having to rethink about how we're organizing our trucks to do the collections.
Well, now offering curbside services, they hope more people will take advantage.
All right, let's get you out the door this morning. Here's your traffic update. Good news is no accidents to run out there this morning. Here's a live look out across I-540 there over Grand Avenue. Traffic moving along just fine there. Beautiful sunrise there in the background. Another day where we're going to see some warmer temperatures, 60s and 70s. Plenty of sunshine for today. We'll talk about it coming up.
Well, happening today, RDOT will host a public hearing about proposed improvements on Highway 71B and Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. The project would include milling and inlaying the roadway from Highway 271 to 64. You can share your thoughts from 4 to 7 at the Public Library on Rogers Avenue. You can also send in comments online through March 13th.